enough stove to make fish. It should still be warm.
If they had waited till August.
Split it now. I think if they would have split it, I don't think it would have been near as much.
Well, if less positions.
Yeah.
But if they waited, it would have saved.
No.
Had the same time to make their case.
I literally just the net. That's paying more or less.
You guys grabbing the plate?
Your lips to God's ears.
We grabbing the plate?
Me?
Yeah.
Let's get somebody can, get a plate.
Most of it's snacks. There's some fruits and vegetables up there.
Yeah, fruits and vegetables.
I would love if I could just put my card immediately.
I don't want to like meetings going on and so I want to be quick out.
Started in St. Paul, and then I went to.
Nice, eh?
Yeah.
8 years, I'm tired.
For 2 weeks, and I went to Milwaukee.
Wait a second, it's been a warm one of these.
Well, I didn't want to disturb me. I go to Springfield, Massachusetts.
Well, if he's trained real good,
I
wouldn't have
can
disgraced
move. I can move.
Give me a lot of flight time.
There you go.
My mileage account's full.
It's okay.
And I'm taking my family. Good night.
Come on up.
Neither one of them have ever been. I was just there a year ago. It's gonna be nice because I kind of am aware. Enough to get us.
You have a quorum. It is 6:30. Before we get started, I'm gonna do a really quick tech check since we are trying new things. All right. So Officer Jensen, are you able to hear us? Can you try talking for me? I just want to check that the speakers are working.
Yes, I can hear you.
Beautiful, thank you. Okay, Chair, it's all yours.
All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting of the District 3 Advisory Board to order. First order of business is going to be the approval of the agenda. And if we, I got a motion from Vanessa, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, and yep, second from Mary. All those in favor? All those opposed? All right. Moving on to the approval of the minutes from the February meeting. Oh, Michael, did you move?
No, I didn't hear, but.
Okay. You got a move second, Mike, and a second from Vanessa. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And Becca, I wasn't there from that one, so I abstained. Just for the record. Okay, staff reports, Wichita Fire Department. I mean, I was gonna say, he's used to going after you guys.
Okay. Right. It's been 5 or 6 months since I've been to that. Not sure what happened, a lot of new faces and was spread. That's pretty awesome. My name's Matt Bowen. I'm battalion chief with Wichita Fire Department. I run out of Firehouse 2. Been with the city for a little over 34 years. And some of the familiar faces, they're gonna do just repetitive stuff because some of the safety messages that I convey, if I'm talking to any public group, I talk about it. But first, there's a few handouts in the back, and then the DAB members, board members have this. This is the February response information. We see just over 962 total calls, and it's broken down by by medicals, other alarms, first alarms, and our fire alarms. DAT 3 is colorized in the orange. And I'm just gonna hit on a few things. You have DAT, monthly DAT packets that Becca had, provided for you as well. But, and some of this is also repetitive in the DAT information. You know, the hot topic with fire department right now is what we found for some of our facilities, with Firehouse 15 currently being relocated, remediation being done for the mold issues. I was in a meeting with the deputy chief earlier, a few hours ago, and anticipate that Firehouse 15 will be back in service out of Firehouse 15 on the 11th of March. So we're excited about that. With that said, we have several other stations that are priorities. Firehouse 11 and District 2 or District 3 is the next on the agenda. So during a recent remodel maybe a couple of years ago, Firehouse 11 crews relocated and ran out of our regional training center at 4780 East 31st. Temporarily while that remodel was done. They anticipate and contractors believe that they can have it shortened down to 2 weeks to get Firehouse 11 back in quarters. So several plans are in place to cover the primary response area. Just as they're doing out east with separating 15s between 20s and Station 9. Oftentimes during that day, those fire apparatus are out in the regular response district, regardless if the firehouse is shut down. So, I'd welcome any questions on the firehouse that we've recently come to light recently. Just pipe up. Yesterday, we had roughly 80 members go through the captain lieutenant promotional process. City of Wichita and Fire Department contract. And this, you know, WSU helps facilitate that. I think there's around 35 captain candidates that took the written test and around 45 lieutenant candidates that took the test. It's changed a lot over the years, and we're excited to partner with WSU. The second part of that promotional process will be mid-April, which is a promotional assessment center. So if you pass that test and you're in that top 40 for lieutenants or top 30 for captains, you'll be assigned a time to go to a promotional assessment center. Emergency exercises, so on and so forth. Some of the bigger news, Fire Chief last week announced her pending retirement in July. If you don't know much about Fire Chief Snow, she's our most tenured member. She approaches 38 years of service, I believe. Fire Chief Snow, Wichita's first woman fire chief. She worked her way up completely through operations as a firefighter, lieutenant, captain, battalion chief. She was our shift commander for a while before she was promoted to deputy chief of operations. And in 2017, she was promoted to as fire chief. So she's had a 9.5 year run in the position, and I'll speak to some of her legacy briefly. She assembled a team when she took over in 2017, and what I'm going to tell you here is the Wichita Fire Department has never had a better special operations command than now. We have highly trained individuals. We have 2 staff rescue companies, which we did not have when she took over in 2017. And, you know, regionally and nationally, we have deployment agreements at the state level and the national level. Recently, the wildfire in southwest Kansas, but also hurricane deployments, those things. We have over 40 special operations members trained in a variety of disciplines that can deploy nationally and locally and in the state. So That's one of the things that Chief Snow, part of her legacy. The truck company number 5 in Northeast in District 2, that's on her watch. We got Grant and added truck company 5. The council mayor has since supported that and we maintain that truck company. Most recently, and the grant expires in March, we added truck 6 and truck 7 and 4-person minimum staffing to the truck companies. That grant expires actually this month. It's March already. So, you know, operationally, she's made an incredible impact. She assembled a team and they built this. And so, like I said, she had many things to be proud of and her legacy operationally. All those things I mentioned happened on her watch. So props to Fire Chief Snow. So I'm going to get to the safety message and I'll field any questions. I'm not trying to take too much of your time, but anybody guess what my first one is and most important? Close before you know. Close before you do. So that picture on this shows the difference between a closed bedroom door, a hollow core door, raging fire on the outside. That door's open, all that heat, smoke, and toxic gases enter that bedroom. This is a closed door, and that's not an exaggeration. I've made many fires where a simple closed bedroom door is the difference between life and death. So what I often tell any group I speak with is, your Wichita Fire Department, there's one reason we're here. That's for all of you, the people that pay our wages, people that pay the taxes in this community. And you expect professional service and we deliver. So with that said, I often have people imagine, you know, picture a house and the front door, the back door, the side door, nothing but fire, you know, fire out of multiple windows. You know, we train our members to aggressively do targeted searches. We search searchable space, so it could look fully involved. But if there's one window, one space in that house or that apartment building that isn't on fire, we have the best your money can buy. We have the best training you could get, and we have the best firefighters in this country. And we're going to search searchable space because we're here for all of you. So there's a couple other safety messages in there. Always check your smoke detectors this weekend. You know, I advocate doing it monthly, but if you change batteries, if it's not hardwired, for sure change batteries every spring forward and fall back for daylight savings. So
Is that this weekend?
Yes.
yep, yes, it is.
Yeah, better get on.
All right. Is there any questions for me?
Questions from Dan?
The smoke detectors, have you got them in yet that they can be distributed out to members or just
So and I'd have to check with
Lucas?
Chief O'Kady on that. We do have a program that we actually install if you qualify, if provide and install smoke detectors in your home.
I talked to him about a month ago and he said they didn't have any at the
Okay.
moment.
I will check and I'll get back with Becca on that and I'll find out.
Thank you.
Smoke detectors. You have questions? All right. Yes.
2 questions.
Yes.
Where'd the mold come from and what are you doing to stop it from coming back?
So these Station 15, Station 11, and some of these older firehouses built in the late 50s, early 60s, and all the HVAC have runs that are actually underground. They're under the flooring, they're built on slabs, but ductwork runs through that. So condensation, you know, and 6, 7 decades of Yeah.
Fire hoses.
Well, and, you know, our infrastructure is aging. So again, we do have, you know, with older buildings, we're gonna have some leaks. So those are being addressed through Public Works and through our fire administration. Good. To repair those, but as far as the older space, we've got underground ductwork. That's being eliminated. It's being remediated. They're cleaning all the mold out of all the areas. The roof leaks that have caused mold in the overhead, the tiles, the insulation, all that's being removed, remediated, repaired. You know, we had a rain event the last day or so, you know, we've been very diligent to report, and Public Works has been very responsive. That answer your question, sir?
Yes, it can be.
Pardon?
Best it can be, yeah.
You bet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Wichita Police Department.
Hello, for those that don't know me, I'm Officer Jensen. I work 26 feet on Patrol South. First and foremost, I want to let you guys know that we have officers that are in the FTO phase, the field training phase. They're in week 7 of 12, so they're a little over halfway done. And they've been doing an excellent job, so we're excited to get them onto their own here shortly. And with that being said, we also are in week 7 of the recruit class, which has 39 recruits in it, and 6 of those 39 are female officers. As I looked at all the major violent crimes for District 3, we are actually down in all of the major crimes areas, so we're doing a really good job on in our district, which is very pleasing. The one thing that I would suggest to everybody, as I've always said, is just make sure that most crimes are crimes of opportunity. So when it comes to larcenies and burglaries, making sure that we're keeping things locked up, our doors to the vehicles, to our houses, our garage doors shut, and then we're not leaving items out in plain view where people can see them and then draw interest in whatever that item may be. And then lastly, our team in Patrol South has been operating with 4 for quite some time. And we've gotten word that in mid-April, we'll be getting our 5th one. So we'll be up to full, which is very exciting for us. He's a training officer, so we got to wait till he gets done training his recruit, and then he's going to join us. And he's coming from east side. It'll be Officer Kozak. So we're excited to get him in mid-April. So with all of that, that is all I have. If there's any questions.
Questions from Deb? Any questions from the public? All right. Thank you, Officer Jensen.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Updates written down.
Okay.
Patrol East has 8 probationary officers who are about to enter phase 3 of their field training. The academy currently has 39 recruits and will be graduating on July 16th. Violent crime is down 50% in the last 30 days. Property crime is down 17% in the last 30 days. And a friendly reminder that with the weather getting warmer and daylight time extended, there is a higher likelihood of more people being out and about. Remember to put valuables away, keep car doors locked, and keep garages and sheds locked. Also, there's crime statistics in your data packets. It's just overall for the year.
Okay, moving on to Wichita Public Library.
Can I interject the question real quick?
Sure.
I spoke with Chief O'Cades. He said smoke detectors are available. Reach out. The 455 number, which is on that sheet, we provide that, and they will set up a time based on the needs of the home, or how many bedrooms, how many levels. They'll come out and make sure that they get some smoke detectors installed.
Thank you very much. Lucas has came to Hilltop Manor and done that for us a few times.
we just can't get our members to participate enough. We all need them, but so many just won't pick up the phone. And we definitely need them. We're 2-story tinder boxes.
Yeah.
And they need to be looked after.
Chief,
I'll pass it on to the next meeting. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Right. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Robin Doster. I'm the Community Services Librarian in District 3 at the Walters Branch. Starting out, we have an announcement as effective March 2nd that we're going mostly cashless. We've decided to no longer keep cash or credit card terminals at staff service points. And that's to simplify operations and focus more on customers, helping customers access library materials. So payments will now take place online via the library's catalog or at self-service points with a mix of payment method options. There are cash and credit card options that will be available at printing/public computer, reservation stations, and self-check machines. And then credit card only payment options will be available at the online catalog, and then drive-up windows at the ALL, at Alfred, Rockwell, and Westlink branches. And then cash only payment options are available at the photocopying stations. And then you can visit wichitalibrary.org to learn more. And then each year, the Wichita Public Library screens the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Oscar-nominated short films. This year, we're thrilled to partner with Boulevard Theater's Old Town for an all-day screening on Saturday, March 7th, this Saturday, featuring all 15 nominated short films across the animated, live action, and documentary categories. The festivities will continue with additional screenings at several WPL locations near you throughout the week, leading up to Academy Awards ceremony on Sunday, March 15th. And you can visit wichitalibrary.org/Academy Awards for all showtimes. The ALA, the American Library Association, and the Pokemon Company have partnered to bring Pokemon Club to libraries across the nation, and that includes the Wichita Public Library. Students can level up their essential cognitive, academic, and social-emotional skills in a fun and engaging manner. Through activities that frustrating, puzzle-solving, and strategy, students practice strategic thinking and problem-solving, math and reading comprehension, communication, teamwork, and empathy. The ALL will host Pokemon Club for 2 different age groups, youngsters ages 6 through 11 and trainers ages 11 to 14. So each kid can learn and connect with fellow Pokemon fans of a similar age. The first session of Pokemon Club for the trainers group takes place on Friday, March 13th from 4 to 5:30, while the youngsters' first session is on Saturday, March 28th from 2 to 3. Additionally, kids can participate in the Pokemon-themed scavenger hunt at the Children's Pavilion inside the ALL during spring break. March 13th through 20th, Wichita's Best can help us catch them all. And then for the big read, we invite you to join us in reading Catalog of Unabashed Gratitude by Ross Gay for the 2026 Big Read Wichita. This book of poems focuses on connection, community, and gratitude by emphasizing the importance of nature, gardens, and a grounded view on the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. From March 29th through April 26th, we'll host important discussions and events centered around the book's themes, beginning with the kickoff celebrations at the Maya Angelou Branch Library on Sunday, March 29th from 2 to 4. The Come and Go kickoff event reflects the book's commitment to community gardens by highlighting the first phase of construction on the Rise Community Garden at the Angelou Branch. Customers can stop by any time during the event to pick up a free copy of the book and enjoy self-guided activities, including poetry writing stations, fig tasting, community garden tours, and continuous live poetry readings. And then for Walters updates, real quick, family story time continues in the Walters meeting room every Tuesday from 11:30 to 12. And we're partnering with Next Step Alliance again for digital skills classes this spring, and they're set to occur roughly every other Wednesday evening. The first is computer basics, which was this evening from 4:30 to 6:30, and the next will be on top of Microsoft Word, and 2 Wednesdays on March 18th, also from 4:30 to 6:30. Seats are limited, and you can visit wichitalibrary.org/events or call 316-261-8500 to register. And tomorrow from 1 to 5 p.m., we'll be having Make and Take Handprint Lilies. Daylily blooms last for only 1 day, but come and craft a bouquet of paper lilies that will last all season long. It's a drop-in craft for ages 4 through 11. This Saturday, March 7th, Walters will host Third Place on Harry Street, board games for all from 11:30 to 2:30. It's similar to other board game programs in the past, except for the fact that it has been extended by 1 hour and that it will not be staff supervised. On Wednesday, March 18th, from 1:30 to 3 will be Team Zigzag books. Learn basic bookbinding techniques and make a unique piece of art. You can visit wichitalibrary.org/events to register. And then the next day on March 19th will be the Marshmallow Incident, where participants aged 4 through 12 can enjoy activities based on the book by Judy Barrett. And that is the last update.
Any questions for Robin through that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Good.
Not a question so much as excited to see that Michael Threets,
Yeah.
the library guy, announced yesterday that Reading Rainbow has been picked up for 24 more episodes.
So excited.
Sony Pictures, which is now part of Amazon, I think, stepped up, along with the Canadian Broadcasting Company, Canadian Public Broadcasting.
Very exciting.
The community gardens, do you have a list of that and the tours will be and what's involved with all that?
I do not. I just know that they're going to be doing like continuous tours throughout the day on, oh gosh, what is it, Mark? Yeah,
That'll be all over the
Got it.
city?
it's gonna be at Angela.
Any other questions from Deb? Public? All right. Thank you, Robin.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Wichita Parks and Rec.
Hello, everyone. My name's Lisa Clausen. I am the Recreation Director at Linwood Recreation Center, and thanks for the opportunity to be here this evening to share some things that are going on with the Park and Rec. So, first of all, summer is right around the corner, believe it or not, and our registration for our summer camp programs has begun. We hold 2 different summer camps within our department. They run 9 weeks. They start May 26th, which is right after Memorial Day, and then they run through the end of July. I believe it's July 24th. It will be our final day of camp. So we have a summer discovery program, which is offered at Edgemore, Linwood, and Orchard. Those programs are Monday through Friday programs. The cost to attend is $150 per week, and they're from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, and then our summer activity camp programs, those are offered out of Brewer, Colvin, Evergreen, and Lynette Woodard. And those programs are also Monday through Friday, but their hours are a little bit different. So they're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, and the cost for that camp is $50 per week. So there is scholarship funding. There's also DCF assistance that's available for families that qualify to use for camp, to attend camp. And we do lots of fun activities with kids over the course of the summer. So we take field trips, we go swimming, we have on-site presenters. So it's a lot of fun for kids, and it's great daycare for parents who need it while they're at work. So if you know of any kiddos that are looking for summer camp, please send them our way because we'd love to have them.
You take 3-year-olds?
No, but I'm going to tell you about City Crew next, and we do take little ones there. 6 to 12 is the age for our summer camp, so maybe just a few years away. A few more years. So one of the bigger things that's going on in our department right now is the Park and Recreation Master Plan. The city's Park and Rec Department and the Sedgwick County are partnering together. They're working with a consulting team on the Imagine ICT Parks and Rec Master Plan. This is a year-long effort to create a 10-year roadmap for parks, facilities, programs, and long-term funding priorities. So it's a big endeavor. It's a really important one to our department for what the future of park and recreation is going to look like. So as of the fall, the project started in the fall, and so far the following things have been accomplished as part of this plan. They've held staff and stakeholder meetings. They've had park and facility assessments. They've done 6 community pop-up events across the city. They had a public open house, and then they have created a statistically valid resident survey that can be found on our website, Wichita Park and Rec. I've also brought some little cards that I can leave with Becca if you guys want to pick one of those up that has a QR code on there that enables you to go in there and provide feedback on our parks, on our recreation centers, on programming that we offer, because it's very valuable as we move into the next phase. So the project team is now analyzing that data, and they are going to be starting to put together recommendations on what the data has shown. The data will then be shared for public review, which is projected to be over the course of sometime this summer, and then they will do a final adoption of it in late 2026. So O.J. Watson Park, right down the road here. They are getting ready to open their spring summer ride season, which will start over spring break. So if you have little ones that are looking for something fun to do, Watson Park is a great venue. It's a really wonderful park. It's one of the gems, I think, of our department. So you can get out there and enjoy that. They are in the process of hiring a new park manager out there. Interviews have been completed, and I think it's just a matter of kind of finalizing that, and they'll announce who that new director will be over there fairly soon. From our athletics department, our Miracle League is offering a new sport this upcoming winter. For those of you guys that aren't familiar with Miracle League provides opportunities for players that have disabilities, and it enables them to play on teams in different sports with their peers, to learn about that sport and to have a lot of fun in the process. So Miracle League basketball will be in full swing this upcoming winter. So the other Miracle League sports that our department offers is bowling, baseball, kickball, and swimming. So some good opportunities there. As far as the 2 recreation centers that fall within District 3, my site, which is Linwood, we have had a number of big events that have happened in our park here recently, and a couple that are coming up. Run Wichita hosted their annual Super Bowl Fun Run on Super Bowl Sunday. They do this, it's an annual event. They had close to 200 runners that came out and did a 4-mile course through the park. They always do this just prior to Super Bowl, and I think they all just frantically leave right after it's over to go get to their spot where they're watching the game. It was a great event. We are offering our spring break camp for kids ages 6 to 12, which will be held over spring break, which is March 16th through the 20th. Hours for that are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's $27 per day to register. There are 3 sites that are offering that: Linwood, Edgemore, and Orchard, and we all still have openings in camp. So if you know of anyone, family members or neighbors or kids that are looking for camp or something fun to do over spring break, please send them our way. We are hosting a big City Crew event this upcoming Saturday, March the 7th at Linwood. That event will be from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It is Mission Impossible spy training. So City Crew is a free club for kids ages 2 to 12. So it's completely free. They sign up, and then members have the opportunity to come and participate in what we call exclusive themed events for those members. So this next one is going to be held over at Linwood, which should be a lot of fun. And then the final thing, on Saturday, March 14th, we're partnering with the Kansas Humane Society. They will be offering a free vaccination and microchipping clinic at Linwood. That program starts at 10 a.m. You do not need to register. It is, I believe, for the first 200 animals through the door is what they'll serve. So, and we've done this with them for years, and it's a very, very valuable service for our community, and it's also very, very well attended. So unfortunately, I think they sometimes have to turn people away because there's such a need and such great attendance at that. So Colvin Recreation Center, update on the Plainview project. They are right now in the throes or early stages of working on the plans for the new community center there in Plainview. It'll be the Colvin Recreation Center. Right now, they are housed inside of Colvin Elementary School. And once this new facility is up and running, it will enable them to offer recreation and educational opportunities for that community out of their own building. So, which will be great. I'm sure they'll still partner with the schools on a lot of different things, but it'll be nice for them to have their own space so that they can do programming outside of school hours, because right now they're really limited to morning and after school latchkey programs, which is their kids club. So, and I know that program is doing very well. They've got 51 different families from Colvin Elementary School that are attending that latchkey program. It's free. There's no cost to those families at all. CDBG funding pays for that program and those opportunities for those kiddos. So, that's pretty much it from Park and Recreation. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you guys have any for me.
For John.
I always have questions. One, is there any way to get a pre-emergent spray for sandburrs out at Watson? Because, I mean, I took my dog for a walk there last fall and she couldn't go more than 2 steps without getting stickers in the paws.
Yeah.
It was really, really difficult.
Okay, noted. I will make
Really bad, especially around the picnic areas. It was really bad. 2, any update on Chapin? I see we got concrete.
I
today
do
at the dog
not have
park.
an update on Chapin, but I can certainly get one and provide it to Becca. So, and on the sandburrs out there, I can definitely check in with Parks. That would be something that they would be responsible for making sure it gets handled, but I can definitely pass that along. My guess is they know there's a problem there. It's just probably a matter of how to get it under control. Yeah, which
It's as bad as Chapin used to be. Chapin's gotten pretty good since it's sprayed.
I was talking to the Parks and Rec staff about it a couple of weeks ago, because I was bringing up Hilltop, Friendship Park there at Hilltop, and apparently it's like 3 years to fully get rid of them, continuing the spray. So if we treat, it doesn't automatically go away, but it kills like their abilities to reseed. So that is something we'll push that along too and try and get them out there. But like Lisa said, it's probably something they're currently spraying for it, but it's
everywhere in the city. It's just,
I'll certainly pass it along though too, so.
Any other questions from Dan?
I do. The senior services, I've been told you have dances. Have you been able to get bands to cover those? Because I got invited to a couple of them, but they have problems getting a band to show up for them. And I didn't know what else participating with that.
Sure, we do. We have senior dances at 3 different facilities every week. So on Thursday night, there's one at Manissa. On Friday night, there is a dance at Orchard, and on Saturday night, there's a dance at Linwood at my location. So the Golden Age clubs, which fall under the Park and Rec umbrella, their representatives handle scheduling of the bands. So I know they work with lots of different bands. I know for some of the clubs, the bands have gotten very expensive. So they're looking at some different options or alternatives for ways that they might be able to continue dances and balance out live music with like recorded music and that type of thing. We're test driving that at Linwood right now, as a matter of fact.
I was just asked about that the other day. So.
Yeah, the costs for those bands has grown so that if you're it's at $5 admission to the dance, so it's $5 to get in. So if you're not, meeting that number to be able to cover the cost of your band, then the clubs are losing money every time they offer it. So, and at some point you have to really relook at those operations and say, hey, what could we do different here?
That was a disappointment that I was hearing. They wanted to go to it, but there wasn't no band for this time. Then they went to the other one and it was rocking. So.
Yeah. We'll come out again.
I'm going to.
I'd love to have you.
Either.
Maybe Parks and Rec could start a senior band.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of senior musicians here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Any questions from the public?
I got a comment on the sandbars. If you're 3 years, if you're lucky, 5 to 6 years is a more accurate figure. But if you can get them, the mowers to pull a piece of carpeting upside down behind them, the burrs stick to it, just like they do your feet and clothes and everything else. And we eliminated a yard in about 2 years. But
Oh, wow.
it was a battle. I mean, every time we mowed, we drug that carpet with us and then throw it in the trash. But
It'll help, huh? Okay,
it's hard to get rid of stickers.
yeah, I know it.
Go aheads.
First thing to come in and last thing to come in.
It hurt.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're on to the public agenda and it looks like we have a scheduled item. Andrew Crane.
Do you want to introduce yourself before I read for you?
Yes. Please.
Okay.
Go ahead, Ray.
Dear Advisory Board member, greetings. I am reaching out to discuss an opportunity to collaborate on making your organization or business, as well as the Wichita-Sedgwick County community, more accessible. While I am a member of the Wichita-Sedgwick County Access Advisory Board, please note that I am contacting you today as a private citizen. Members of our community with disabilities work hard to support local businesses and organizations by shopping and attending events. However, many encounter challenges related to transportation, safe building access, and online accessibility for purchasing goods and services. These difficulties have increased in Wichita, especially following the $4.9 million project intended to create a more walkable downtown. The Wichita-Sedgwick County Access Advisory Board has engaged with city and county leadership about these concerns, noting that recent projects do not fully comply with public right-of-way accessibility guidelines or other best practices. Key issues include the absence of audible pedestrian signals, inconsistent curb cuts, and sidewalks that are not safely traversable. The success of downtown businesses depends on support from all patrons, whether through ticket purchases, event attendance, sales of goods or services. Accessibility is crucial for maximizing patronage. It is important to note that over 25% of the U.S. population identifies as having a disability. I'm requesting that your business or organization send a letter referencing the Wichita-Sedgwick County Access Advisory Board to city and county leadership. The letter should ask for the recent downtown two-way conversion project to address the accessibility issues described above. Specifically, it should request a review and update of curb ramps, installation of audible pedestrian signals at affected intersections, and a commitment that all future street and sidewalk work will comply with the public right-of-way accessibility guidelines and best practices recommended by the Federal Department of Transportation and the Institute of Traffic Engineers. Including a discussion of economic consequences of limited accessibility may also be helpful. A template letter and contact list for Sedgwick and Wichita and Sedgwick County leadership are available for your use. I am happy to provide more information regarding these issues and this request. Thank you in advance for your attention and support in this effort.
Well, that letter, I am very, very supportive of. I am a well-known blind individual that lives in Wichita and also works in downtown Wichita. I also run a nonprofit organization called Guiding Paws, supporting the blind and low vision community and the disability community. And I am encouraging you guys to write that letter to Sedgwick County, City of Wichita, and so we can get the upgrades that we need, because our sidewalks, our audible systems is not sufficient and is really need to be upgraded. I have been to every city council meeting and been supportive of the disability and blind community. I encourage you guys to write that letter. If you are a business owner, part of a business, I encourage you to just write the letter and get it in. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Any questions?
I have one. When a pedestrian gets injured, is it noted whether they had a disability or not, so we can find out whether the disability people are getting hit more frequently than normal
That's a good
other
question.
citizens?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I'll look into that.
I mean, even the news doesn't really say, it's usually just driver impaired.
Right.
Okay, but I thought that might help if we knew.
That's a good question.
This is also more for Mike, but along similar, I assume there's some kind of plan already in the works on these
There are.
orders, because, I mean, the ADA has been around forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly should have addressed this years.
Well, and the one of the things that the city I think forgot about was the big lawsuit that the ADA, the city of Wichita should be following the ADA guidelines, and they have not been following the ADA guidelines. So
Some of them,
that's one of the things that needs to be worked out. And that's something that the new city manager is gonna have to really crack down on.
and I agree with that, and we're making sure with that South Broadway grant that we've gotten, that that's going to be one of the key components is accessibility, raised bus stops, audible crossings and whatnot. That's one of the main goals of it. Just one point though, on the standards did change like right at the beginning of this project as it was getting started downtown. We were not aware of that. So that is something that we are working on and addressing. But just a little bit of nuance there as far as some of the standards that did start to come down and change right at the beginning of that.
I know, like Hillside and Harry, when they redid that, 5 years ago now, they did the audibles.
Yeah.
Walk, don't walk.
But all of the one ways in downtown Wichita, there's not a push button or an audible. And now since they turned the main Market and Topeka and St. Francis into two ways, they forgot about the curb cuts and stuff. So that's one of the things that the Access Advisory Board is addressing, and hopefully under the ADA Act that gets done and moved forward.
Okay. Thank you for your work.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, April.
Thank you.
I have electronic copies of the form letter and the contact sheet if you all would like those as well. And I'm gonna take a point of privilege and say the name of the future Plainview Center is Plainview Community Center.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question for you. When the city goes in and tears up the intersection, for lack of better words, they're doing the curb cuts and everything then, are they not? And I've noticed, I don't have a complaint. I don't use them all the time. I think if somebody's using a sidewalk that it's not right, then that should go to the top of the list. But I think they've been doing a good job for years. They didn't have to do anything, and that money's got to come from somewhere. And as we all know, we're hurting for money. And that's not an excuse when the street is tore up.
Yeah, it's like I said, a lot of the standards have changed right at the start of that project. We weren't as caught up on it as we probably should have been, but at the same time, there wasn't that communication from the federal government as well, that some of those standards had changed. So it is, it's an issue. I mean, we have been putting in the audibles. The only issue with that was in some locations with the car noise, being able to actually hear the audible going off with the roar of the traffic essentially.
Yeah.
So there's some things there that we gotta work on. So we'll be working on that.
That's a good point, Mike. I live in Harry and Oliver. I can hear it all night long, but I don't hear it all during the day.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's, you have people relying on that. So we just can't do the same type of audibles at the intersections as we do in other parts of town.
All right, we're gonna see, do we have any off agenda items? Anybody who's attending who would like to speak? All right, well, we have no new business. So we can move on to the board agenda. Mike, do you have any updates, issues for us?
Not a whole lot. Did anybody hear any news yesterday by chance or nothing going on?
It's a no news day.
No news day, yeah, slow news day, yeah. No, the people's spoken. We've talked about it quite a few times here and at district breakfast as well. So now, we gotta figure out, where we go from here. It's like I've cautioned everybody, the actual number that you have for the debt and deficit that we have coming up, always take it with a grain of salt because we do budget conservatively or we plan out conservatively. Some of the news over the last month, and always keep in mind, the city doesn't do assessments, but people's property assessments have been coming back way higher than what we had planned for with our budget. So we're gonna let the dust clear and move forward. Next week, we have a city council retreat where we will be discussing a lot of these major issues. Kind of what our thoughts are, how do we prioritize our CIP going forward? As far as the sales tax goes, so no performance arts center, to me, not a big deal. No, convention center, sorry, it's been a long day. Again, not the biggest deal to me. We still need to make sure that we keep Century 2 up and keep investing in that, which we've had a lot more money over the last 4 years than we had the previous couple of years. Property tax cuts, not gonna happen. That was kind of just holding people, a lot of property owners, just average as far as what you would gain from it and what you would lose with the potential sales tax. I do still plan on pursuing the homestead tax rebate because, and for those of you that aren't familiar, that's the one that there's a state homestead tax, which is for seniors who make $41,000 or less, being able to hold them, to not charge them property tax essentially, because those are the people that are really struggling right now to stay in their homes. We see the price of everything, evaluations going up, food going up and everything. And their cost of living adjustment, I think I saw the last one was out today and it was like 2.6% or something like that for this year. Is simply not keeping up. So seniors specifically are getting priced out of their homes. So that is something that I'm going to continue to push for this year, to make that property tax rebate permanent. So it's a state program to where a senior's property taxes, you can get a refund for it on the state level for what you pay to the state. I want to match it for the cities. That way we give seniors back their cut of the city's taxes that we're charging for their property. Again, a lot of seniors who are just, I got one senior in our district who she lives on $8,000 a year. She has a little foo-foo dog. It was a house that she and her husband bought 50, 60 years ago. She lives in it. It's half the size of this room. You know, somebody like that should not have to worry about where they're going to live or how they're going to stay in their home. So I'm going to continue to push on that. As far as the CIP goes, we'll just have to prioritize. We'll have to make sure that these stations, I would have liked to have gotten out ahead of the stations, because a lot of it has to do with safety concerns, not only just the mold and it falling apart, but we actually had money we put in the CIP a couple of years ago. We took from a luxury parks project up in Northwest Wichita to buy the fire station yesterday that we had on the council agenda. And we've talked about it before. It has the bunker cleaning gear in it. So that way firefighters, when they come back from a call, they can put it in there and get their bunker or their gear clean. Firefighters have an incredibly high rate of cancer and their families. They take it home with them as well. So making sure that we do things like that, that's the higher priority for me. Trying to get these stations built. So there was one that will be in southwest Wichita, and there's another one in the plans for northwest Wichita that we have in the CIP here in the next year. Those are the two areas of town that have the biggest coverage gaps. They don't meet the national standards right now. So those are where we're putting the two highest priority stations. Aside from that, again, we're going to have to continue to prioritize. Again, I wish we could have skipped ahead and gotten some of these fire stations built sooner than later, because I do believe that cancer rates are an issue and safety standards. But we have to deal with the hand that we're given. The homeless endowment, we're coming up, we're looking at some options there, perhaps dipping into our general fund or dipping into our permanent reserve. We have two separate reserves. One, we are mandated to essentially keep, I think it's 10% of the city's annual budget in one reserve, just for in case something like 2020 happens, to where we have to actually go back and fund our city services that way. A second one is one that we created a couple of years back to put extra money, so we don't just like try and spend down every year. So we have a second reserve that currently has about $40 million a year. Starting this year, we are drawing from that $3 million a year because of budget shortfalls, but this way it's not going to impact our services. So we are looking at that potential of dipping in there to help with a lot more of these fire and police station repairs, and potentially funding Second Light out of that for short term anyways. I thought it was really interesting. I made this point before. I did try to break it up into 5 separate pools so we could vote on them individually. The documenters did a exit poll yesterday, and when it was coming back, I think it was like in the 70s for both the homeless fund and for the public safety fund. The people who said they voted no said they would have voted for that if it was broken up into separate pieces. So I thought that was really interesting, and perhaps a lesson that we can take from that on the council level. I think anytime we talk about something like this moving forward, it definitely has to come from the community and have a lot more input from the community. So those are the lessons I take away from yesterday. My butt's a little red from the paddling I've gotten, but you know, this is the job I've signed up for. Aside from that, we do have the retreat coming up again next week. I'm not sure on the location, but it'll be Thursday and Friday. It's an open meeting, so people can come down, but we'll be discussing all sorts of issues: road maintenance, public safety. What does our city look like moving forward? We did this a couple of years ago, but I think this one's going to be different and better than what we've done in the past as far as that goes. So I hope to have good conversation from all of council, and hopefully we can start having plans that we stick to moving further down the line. Yes, sir.
The plan B for funding, since Prop 1 has failed, have you guys looked into the Safer Streets for All, the KDOT cost share, the SAFE and Source School grants, For the Wampo section 5310, that second light is already, and the shelter is already starting to dabble into. Are we able to use any of that for the crosswalk or any of the financial needs for any of the people with disabilities, or is this section off differently and only allotted for certain things?
Yeah, I'm on WAMPO, the WAMPO board, and that is something that we explore and kick over every stone that we can for funding with that. We do receive, I'm sorry, I'm not really this bad of a parent, but right now I'll let them social media or zone out. We do use a number of it, of those grants through WAMPO. We have a connectivity grant like that, that's connecting, especially transit routes from a lot of the neighboring locations. So it's like, you know, maybe there's a mile difference between our bus routes and Hayesville's bus routes. And this will be in the transit plan that comes out later this year. Closing that gap in that way. There's a bus stop there that can get you from Hayesville to Wichita without having to walk a mile essentially. So there are a number of grants that we're looking at with that. Did you say safe routes to school as well?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a plan that we are finishing up now. We actually had a really high rate of responses from the schools in our district. I made sure that most schools in our district responded to it. That's something I'm going to bring up at the retreat, is programming the Safe Routes to School plan into all our future CIP. So that way, whenever we are doing roads, road maintenance or something like that in the neighborhoods, that we can include items like this. And some of them I've talked about with you guys before, like the speed signs, like where you can see your actual speed within school zones, so people know to slow down when they are in the vicinity of schools. That makes you slow down a little bit. Some road narrowing techniques, sidewalks that go into the neighborhoods. So I'm pushing to make sure that those are included in future CIP projects now that the study is essentially coming out from that. So yeah, we kick over every rock, man. I mean, we try and see what all is out there. And that was the same thing with the South Broadway, or the Broadway Safer Grant, is we threw a Hail Mary to get that with the federal government, and we actually won that one. And that's a $20 million grant to go from 21st and Broadway down south here to Pawnee, and addressing some safety issues along that and some maintenance and upkeep issues as well.
Is there any talk to you the revenue bonds?
About what?
Revenue bonds?
I couldn't tell you for sure. We have our bonds that we address here, I think next week actually. So it's that's another point. Next Tuesday is another evening meeting. So if you guys really want to come out and see, this one's not going to be very exciting, because it's going to do mostly, we're buying our bonds and selling some other bonds. So during that meeting, we're also.
Is that on the 7th?
That'll be the 9th. The 9th at 6 o'clock down at City Hall. So, yeah, come and see how the sausage is made if you guys really want to. So that'll be next week. And then do you have any other questions, sir?
Not for now.
Okay, Rich?
The new fire chief, did we hire an outside consulting firm?
We're not going
For
to.
one, or are we moving them up?
We are doing a nationwide search, but we are doing the search from within HR.
I'm a firm believer, just like she did 38 years and she worked her way up. And when you bring somebody else in that busts all these other guys that I could have moved up, they can't do it. And so
We're definitely going to be open to promotion from within. At the same time, sometimes, like with the city manager, sometimes it's good to get like a breath of fresh air coming in and taking a look at things. So I actually spoke to the city manager today about the committee to be set up to look at a new fire chief. Yeah, Tammy's got some big shoes to fill, but we'll see. I know there's a number of captains and chiefs within our department now that I would feel comfortable with as a chief.
when you got somebody that steps in and fills the shoes while she's gone or whatever,
Yeah,
they ought to be a first pick in my books.
But a lot of here's the other part of that though, a lot of the firefighters, the further up in administration they get, the further they get from doing the job that they want to do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of firefighters that just want to go out.
Like fires.
Yep, yep.
And I understand that, but we need to promote from within anytime we can.
It's been a mixed bag. Parks director, we promoted from within. City manager, we went out. And I'm trying to think,
Works was promoted
public
from
works is promoted from within,
within.
HR,
Sullivan is from outside.
yeah, Sullivan and HR, yeah,
Transit was promoted from within.
yeah. So it's about 50-50.
With that said, I'm gonna go back, because we're hurting for money, go back to when you pave roads and there's houses on there. You gotta try to get $5,000 a house. I'm telling you, 90% of the people will go for it. And the ones that say, I can't afford it, I'm not gonna do it, then whatever, then you can absorb that if you need be.
I think roads would have been part of it.
When they were doing the roads down by my house, and the original bill was, I think, $63 or $400. And then they changed the plan, it went from $6,300 to almost $30,000. Had to have curb and gutter, had to have this for an approach and that for an approach. We had to put drainage in, it changed everything, but it got shot down. The 6,300 passed though.
Yeah. A point of privilege here. We have Mike in his last meeting. He has termed out 8 years. So please, everybody, give a round of applause to Mike. He's been a wealth of knowledge. He's a neighbor. He's a friend. So I've enjoyed the last 4+ years that I've gotten to know you, and I'll still get to see him at the neighborhood association meetings. So I'm lucky in that regard, but just like Debbie, just know there's a family here. You always got a family, always come back. Hold our feet to the fire. Make sure that we're running the dam in the way that you expect.
Thank you.
Also, Jessie, our chair, we're losing her as well this next year. So it's been a pleasure. I know you were a D1 transplant, but I hope that you have found your time on this board rewarding. We have really enjoyed having you here. You two run the fastest meetings, I think, of any chairs that we've had in my time here. So thank you for your service to our city as well and to our district. So please give them a round of applause.
We were at a neighborhood meeting last night. We're always looking for good speakers, and I got to thinking, I won't be here, but if you guys have had a speaker at any other meetings that are very knowledgeable about the city or about the area we're in, funnel them to Mike, and then Mike can funnel them to George, and we get some decent speakers at our neighborhood meeting.
Mike, this is your time to celebrate, not continue to work. So with that, we do have a couple of awards to give out today.
Yeah. So Mike, we have your award for extraordinary service and contributions to the District 3 Advisory Board for 8 years.
Oh, thank you. Let's stand up.
I'll do all the work for you.
There you go. And here's,
Oops, no, it's fine.
I'm starting this, so Debbie, you got one coming to you as well.
And then we've got Jesse's award for extraordinary service and contributions as the District 3 Advisory Board Chair. And last but not least, I've been given grief every year for the last couple of years from Jerry about the fact that he doesn't get an attendance award.
A gold star?
There is one coming your way, although I need you to sign. So, see, Jerry, Daniel, Tim, and Mike Luke all had perfect attendance in the 25-26 session of the District 3 Advisory Board.
Damn.
Thank you.
Something to aim for next year.
For some reason, it's transposed the award language from Mike's award onto some of your attendance awards, so I will get those fixed and give it back out to you. Some of them are correct and some of them are wrong, so your thank you for 8 years of service is not accurate, sorry. You still gotta come back.
I was like, wow, that was quick.
I have 2 quick things before we end the evening as well. A quick reminder to those of you returning to District 3 Advisory Board for the next term, which starts next month. If you can, please prioritize being here in person. We'll be swearing in oaths, and it's a lot easier if you're here. Otherwise, you got to make an appointment and go down to City Hall and do some stuff. Also, we are bringing back the Neighborhood Leadership Conference from last year, but it is being rebranded to Strong Neighborhoods Conference. It will be on April 10th, and it is officially live. So you can go to wichita.gov/neighborhood, and it will take you to the conference page.
Okay.
Where you can register, get all the information, all that fun stuff.
So if you're in a neighborhood association and you want to strengthen it, come. If you don't have a neighborhood association and you're interested in starting one, come. If you're just looking for some free food and companionship, come on down. We love everybody in the community dialogue. It's always a great thing to do.
You're gonna meet some cool people too.
Yeah.
It's true.
Recruit some more for DAB.
I have a question. It kind of goes back to accessibility, but I wasn't sure if we were open for questions then. If we have people in our neighborhood who are using a wheelchair and there's no sidewalks at all, is there a process for having evaluations done in neighborhoods for that? Or is it, it has to be like petitioned by the resident?
Reach out to me and I'll figure that out. I'll
Okay.
send it to Public Works. I know there's some plans out there to where we add sidewalks. We have certain areas designated, so if we do road work there, we will add sidewalks. That's actually become a contentious point on council here recently. Discussing some of the bigger projects and do we need sidewalks on both sides of the road or, but in any event, just shoot me an email.
Will do.
And I'll check in on that, see if that's in the plan or if we can get it in the plan.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
On our neighborhood, Harry and Oliver, where the sidewalks are, I've seen many people crash and burn just on their little carts or whatever. There's a bunch of, they're real knobby. You know, they come down there and when they're in the little carts, they try to make that corner, even though it's beeping, they tip over. And right there, Harry and Oliver turn north on Oliver, see a couple almost hit by cars. So it's something, they're so rough, even with those little carts, it's not really safe.
Okay, shoot that to me and then we'll go out there and evaluate that and see if we just need to get out there and smooth that out for you.
Are you talking about the yellow bumpy section?
Yes.
That is there for disabled residents.
Yeah, it's really rough though, and they hit that, and I know.
Right, but it's there so that someone who can't see knows that they're about to step into traffic versus someone who can see and is driving dangerously.
And they do have the officers, they're very, I hear them very well.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think we're able to remove those.
But I have seen them crash, and they're, you know, seniors have to be picked back up and are handicapped anyway. It's a scary deal.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it and see if there's anything we can do for that.
Going too fast in their carts or?
Not really, they're going slow, they try to turn the corner right there on Harry going north on Oliver, where they try to cross Oliver right there. And there's a turn lane where
This is
people are
at the
turning.
pawn shop and the.
On the other side of the road, on
Oh,
the
okay.
east side of the street. From west side, don't seem to have a problem from AOK going that way, but from the check cashing center, going back around the corner there, that's really most of the accidents I've seen have been. There's an accident there, vehicle accident daily,
Oh, yeah.
has been for 20 years.
Jerry, isn't there a lot of sand on that corner though?
Not really this year, they didn't really sand too much.
Well, I don't think they ever got it cleaned up from the last 5 years. Let's be honest.
You know, I rip her around there all the time. This year we've been pretty privileged. They haven't had a lot of sand put down anywhere.
We actually took some savings. We had savings because we didn't have to salt the streets as much. and are putting that towards dead tree and stump removal. So we're getting more caught up on that one. We've gotten about 25% more caught up, I guess. I'm not sure how to phrase it correctly. We're not as far behind as we used to be by 25%. So putting some money towards that, and hopefully if we don't have a crazy hurricane season summer like we did last year, we're gonna get a lot more caught up on dead tree and limb removal and whatnot.
You just mentioned that the rain season's about to start. What are they gonna do about the bridge in Clap where it's still just a pile of rubble?
The bridge at Clap, the design that they're looking at right now is going to be possibly a low water bridge. So essentially like just like a sidewalk or running trail that dips down in there. That's a lot more durable than what we've had there, because that's not the first bridge that's gotten.
Everyone's accustomed to it now. It could probably just go away and no one complain about it
Right.
because it's been for so long. But the park is busy all the time.
Yeah. I think in order, I took him there last weekend and I counted 70 kids on the playground there. It is officially the most used park in the city of
I
Wichita.
walk all over it all the time.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Love just letting him run his energy out, thank God.
And there's no stickers.
And there's no stickers.
No
yes.
stickers.
No stickers. Yeah. All right, well, Madam Chair, before we leave, everybody make a to-go plate, plenty of food back there. I sure don't want to take it all home anyway, so.
Also not gonna kick you out right away. We're pretty
No,
early right
yeah.
now, so if you're wanting to eat. please
And I brought barbecue chicken.
Oh.
And
Oh, and this Sunday is the mayor's.
The Sunday at 6 o'clock is the State of the City address. Yeah. At the downtown, the old library, next to Century 2.
is that live on Facebook or YouTube? Or
Yeah, they are,
YouTube.
yeah, they're running it on the socials. But Mike?
I hate to leave on a sour note, but did you guys get the next meeting wrong?
Yeah, it's actually April.
It says March 4th.
Then yeah.
I didn't want me to come back.
We're just gonna say all of the meetings are perpetually in March, no matter what month it is, so we can keep you on the board.
There we go. That's a good way to work around it.
Yeah.
Think outside the calendar.
All right, does anybody
You wanna
have a
keep yours,
motion
Mike?
to adjourn?
Well, yeah, but
Vanessa has moved, Don seconded.
let me keep the holder.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody.
This is really cool too, Becca.
What?
Our laminated signs, we're all impressed with these.
Fancy, they are fancy. They kept falling down.
Yeah, feeling around.
Yeah, secrets.
I think some good things for you guys, but it's all Sesame Street, so.
It's okay.
Thank you so much. We just.